record. What is the name of this one? We just saved some mushroom people. We're gonna meet Mushroom Leader, right?
Yeah. Hey, look, he's a fun guy.
Sure.
He's a fun guy.
How did you spell it?
I don't know. Like, I'm just doing fungi as in like the normal spelling of fungi. But we can do fun guy, like fun dash guy. I like that. There we go. He's a fun guy. There we go. And go. Wonderful. We're going.
Awesome. Who wants to do a little bit of a recap from last week?
Good question.
I told a fish he had fish breath, and he died because of it.
It's a good recap.
We saved some
And on
mushroom
that,
people from some fish people.
much. This is the weirdest acid trip ever. The combat has quelled the now stench of murky blood and uh, kind of mossy mold fills this chamber as you finish talking to this Myconid in front of you. He has turned, gestures for you to follow, and heads into a kind of a large opening in the rock wall here. Real quick, whoever, let's see, is the, what's it called? Dancing lights following you guys?
Yeah. Unless any mushroom person gives any indication that they prefer it not be there. But yeah,
They don't seem to take notice.
great. That is preferred.
And so as you walk into this pathway, you do see off to your left that there is a pond. And as you look into it, you're greeted by these small creatures dancing and playing in these murky waters. They chirp every so often as they leave the water. Whoever wants to can make a nature check to see if they know what these things are. Because they're weird. They look partially amphibious, but also have kind of frills that kind of hide the gills. Okay. Cal, you've never seen anything like these, and they are almost mystical and weird as they're dancing through this murky water. Ergi, Nyx, and Karzin, you recognize them as something you've heard of, but I've never seen before. These are axolotls. Um, you see one of the smaller spore people, or the myconids, walk over to the waters and break off a piece of mushroom from their shoulder and start like passing it out like if feeding a koi pond. Um, and you head into the cavern. As you do, you step into a world you may have never thought possible. For a second, you might even think that you're dreaming, or have crossed into a whole new realm. Bright blues and yellows and reds nearly overwhelm you, with mushrooms and other fungi growing twice and thrice taller than each of you.
We don't have any vision in this scene, just so you know.
Dang it, man. Oh, it's because you're not there.
I don't have any vision in this scene, just so you know.
I hadn't either. You just got
Oh.
it for me.
Okay.
There you go. Sorry about that. Where was I? These fungi grow nearly as big as the trees outside of Hamilton. Spores hang in the air, and the ground slopes downward toward some sort of geode, while a small stream of bright blue water meanders down the hill. Other than that, other than the sound of the water and the occasional shuffling of what you now see are several dozen myconids, it is quiet in here. The myconid you were following oceans down, and I believe he's only able to speak with Tarzan and Clash at the moment. You both hear in your minds, "Come this way."
We are frozen. There we go.
Thank you. Doing great tonight. He starts to head down the hill, and as you do, you pass you pass a couple of corpses that haven't seemed to have been assimilated yet. You also pass more myconids. Some of them kind of peel themselves off of some of the fungi trees, and they don't stare at you, but you get the sense that you are being watched and viewed as you head.
Is it
further
just
and further.
fish people corpses?
There are a couple of fish people corpses. Also, a couple of one looks like a drow, a dark elf, and another one looks like a deep gnome. As Tim's choking on his drink up there.
Oh,
Oof.
I'll ask the guy, do you kill them, or do you bring them after they're dead?
He looks over to you and reaches out a finger. As your fingers touch, in your mind you hear a voice. Thank you for accepting the words. We bring those we find outside our circle is dangerous. Many things die. We give life again. He continues. You pass a large pool of smoking, bubbling water. You see several of the myconids in there, kind of soaking, relaxing, as like a sauna or spa. You reach a point, and you see several large mushrooms, uh, 10, 10 foot. There's one that's like 10 feet tall. There's one that's 15 feet tall, 15 foot, 20 foot. Um, and then a lot of little myconids surrounding the 10-foot tall one as it turns around. This massive fungus reaches out a hand, palm up, towards your group. The myconid who led you here turns to your group, and Kars and Ergi clash here in their minds. He wishes you to accept his words if you deem it okay.
Turn back to Nix and Cal and say, because he wants us to touch his fingers.
Okay.
Those of us who have already accepted
alright.
yours, do we need to do his as well?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And Carson will reach out and accept. Boop.
The fungus underneath, it looks kind of slimy, but when you touch it, it's dry and flaky. But as each of you do, you hear a voice in your minds. Not as big of a voice as you were expecting, but you hear, "Welcome, new friends, to our circle. We appreciate your aid in the defense of our home."
Is Calliope here?
She is, yes. She
Okay.
would be.
I will bow my head and say thank you for welcoming us in so
Graciously.
graciously. Thank you.
It's large, kind of. The best way to describe it is a mushroom sombrero. Bows towards each of you. Tell us why. Why did you help? We are a small pod.
We came to search out the source of some danger that has been befalling our community, and we are searching to create a safer environment for all of them.
We have similar goals, then, it seems.
I would believe so. We do have some additional goals in, reclaiming lost goods that are the property of the peoples of our homeland, but our primary goal is to create safety for all, and that would, to us, include your people.
We do, again, thank you. And ask what we can do to repay this debt. We are not many. Certainly there are larger circles and caverns afar, but we are, well, we are here. And we know the areas and what is good for your kind to eat and not to eat. And what would you like to know?
What do you know of the origin of the black starry substance that I believe you know of as something besides the skulk? The skulk is what we call it.
Oh, yes. It comes from below. Far, far below. It was brought up by people like yourselves, surface dwellers. It is not supposed to be here.
It was brought from the surface down into the mines?
It was brought up
Oh, brought
from
up.
lower
I see, I see.
by your people.
How long have you lived in these cabins?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Time probably doesn't have the same measurement up there, down here, as it does up there. Does this would be some esoteric knowledge, but does Karzan know Myconid, like, do they have like a season cycle that is roughly equivalent to some surface amount of time? Like some would say many moons, maybe like many spore releasings, or many like
Or even like
You're,
their lifespan would we could at least measure it in rough lifespans. Like
I
How
feel
many
like
leaders they've had?
I mean, you can try multiple things. I'd say a history check is
appropriate, yeah.
probably appropriate here, but the DC is, I'll say it is going to be 25.
Okay, cool. Guidance. And well, how many spell slots do I have? Did I really? There's no. Okay, there we go. For a second, I thought I had only spent one spell slot last fight, but no, I did two. Guidance. Do I want to cast to give myself advantage? Nah. All right, history. Come on,
Yes.
let's go. Wow. 26.
All right.
It's a 16 plus 9 plus 1. This is why I take expertise in history, man.
Yeah. So it takes you a second to recall things that you have read about the Underdark, and it wasn't really one of your, most favorite things to read about, but it was interesting in a weird, like, macabre kind of way. The different denizens and peoples down here. The Myconids are very documented because they're some of the more welcoming, I guess you can call it.
Friendly.
Sort of friendly people who live in this area. But what you do eventually remember is that they generally live to be somewhere between 20 and 25 years old before the spores vacate one body, one corpse, and have to be transferred to another, and it would be considered in their culture a new birth.
Roughly, apologies if I am saying something insensitive. How many new births have you been in this cavern? Or rebirths for your lifespan?
Me personally, or
Your
in
culture,
general.
the group here. Also
There have
curious
been,
to know about you personally, but that's less important to our needs.
there's once again these words that come into your mind. They're more of your interpretations of impressions that they're sending across, and there's an interesting feeling that comes with this connection of curiosity and wonder as to why a bunch of surface dwellers would be interested in their life cycle, their lifespan. Um, he, uh, they, whatever you want to call it, um, looks up at the cave ceiling, the jutting out stalagmites, and some of the spores that have grown up and kind of gone inverted mushrooms. Um, he goes, "We have had hundreds of rebirths. Personally, I am on my 17th rebirth.
Carson's gonna do like some rough math in his head. 17 times
Only,
20,
only
300.
third as
340.
sovereign here.
Yeah,
Which
340.
means, were you here when a human that I guess you might not know, have ever learned his name, but when Thaddeus Holston
He
came
wasn't
through this
human.
area?
He was an elvish, right?
Half elf.
He was half
Half
elf.
elf. That explains. Yeah. When one half elf Thaddeus Holston came through this area?
And were you familiar with him at all?
I am not familiar with those of your kind.
Mm. Okay.
Let's see. So it would have been, what, 1.5 rebirths ago when people like us would have made a resurgence of coming into this area? Do you remember that?
Yes,
Is there anything of
yes.
interest you can tell us that happened during that time period?
That is when this skulk emerged from below. In force, at least.
That confirms our theories. Is there anything else that you can recall that might be of consequence to that?
Maybe one rebirth ago, in regards to some of uh, our older spores. We've
Hmm.
about one rebirth ago, yes. The ravenous monsters appeared from above.
Ravenous
One's on
monsters.
one's on all fours with horns.
Oh,
Those came after Thaddeus.
interesting.
Yes, I believe the surface dwellers brought those down.
So the skulk appeared, and then these large hog-like creatures came. Hog
Yes,
boar beast things.
yes.
Now that is odd. Well,
I hadn't realized anybody had come in here after the skulk appeared.
It took the surface dwellers a long time to fully leave.
Was Cars never
After the
aware
storm.
of people like entering the mines after the event?
I'm making
I mean, I was here.
make,
Don't know if
another,
that's a
make
history.
another history check. Yeah, make another history check.
All right, guidance again.
Yeah.
Okay. History. Let me add the bonus as I roll. No, it's not as good, but it's all right. It's 14.
You, in your time, your beginning time in Nermelton, you were mainly focused on selling your goods. You're selling to the miners, to the adventurer, to that crowd. Um, you're not aware of anything like this that you never heard of anything like this.
I guess I did see Thaddeus Holston after the event, didn't I?
Yes,
Okay. How long after the event? I don't know if that's a thing you know off the top of your head,
he
but
disappeared. He disappeared some like 27 years ago.
it's like after
The
three
event
years
was
after the mines closed, after like the disaster, I saw him.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. All right. Odd.
And you saw him just a little before he disappeared. So yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, in addition to us wanting to make the mines a safer place, we understand you are having a fish problem, as we so saw. Indeed, one of our
The
allies.
emotion,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say the emotion of amusement at the phrasing
Hmm.
comes over the connection.
We, one of our newest allies, a certain Doc, who I understand you are friendly with, told us that he would appreciate if we took care of their current deity that they like to worship. Is a stolen artifact of his, a robot.
They have been more annoying as
Hmm.
of late. They were always annoying, to be fair, but with this new deity, they've grown in annoyance.
Well, as you could potentially see through our friend here, we were able to dispatch that large group of fish semi-handily, and with your cooperation, of course, we would like to enter that place and rescue one of our friend's friends. I point to Calliope, in addition to the robot,
If
and perhaps eliminate the
you
threat.
look over, you point over to Calliope and look over, and she has fully immersed herself in the boiling water, the bubbling water, just kind of floating there in perfect serenity.
Clash is 100% with her. Clash has not been paying
Yeah,
attention. He is just chilling in the pool.
I
that's
want to
fair.
be dig team. Do I get a short rest if I'm in there for like 10 minutes?
I'll allow it, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be
Wait,
taking
then
a.
I need to swim too once we're done with this conversation.
Yeah, we're,
But
we're
yeah,
diplomatizing, but like once this is over, I'll say, hey, we're right if we chill here for a bit, relax after a battle.
yeah.
uh, but anyway, um, let's see questions for the Myconid. So what say you to that proposal of a joint cooperation to eliminate this annoyance from your lives?
We would be able to provide some aid. I don't I don't force our spores into open combat. they
Can
could
respect
help.
that. It's a sign of a benevolent leader.
But they could help in healing,
Hmm.
in need of that nature. You hear from the uh, a bit of the mushroom foliage, I guess you can call it, behind you. You hear a smaller voice chime out, like actually hear the voice. If you're willing to take out some of them fish folk, I can come with you. You
Who's there?
you turn around and crawling out of one of the like fully spherical mushrooms, you see a deep gnome come out, dressed all in like grasses and thatched, what looks like dried mushroom hide. Um, this short smurf. I always struggle with the word. Smurf.
Smurf?
Deep gnome. Not a smurf. No,
Oh,
they have
Sniverlibin or something like that. I don't know how to say it either.
it's Zwerfneblin. Zwerfneblin. There we
Snurfneblin.
go. He kind of crawls out of it and stands up. He's hunched over. He has a bit of a staff. He completely bald on the top of his head. Pointed beard coming down a couple inches past his chin. Looks up at each of you. Sorry, I was eavesdropping a little bit. I can help in combat. I've been helping these folk out for a while since they took me in.
And
Uh,
may I ask, who are you?
oh my goodness, golly, I am so sorry. Um, I'm looking for my notes. There he is. Um, you
I'm
can.
looking for your notes.
You said you
Sorry.
wanted kids. There you go. Um, sorry. My name is Barthus. I'm I'm just trying to make my way through here and trying to find my way home. These guys have been kind enough to take me in. Sorry, I didn't mean to totally interrupt the conversation or anything like that.
You're good.
Carson's face is utter confusion because not only has he found two people who have living down here, there are three humans that live this far in Deepfrost, and he's just like completely like he can't comprehend like how did they get here? He's not even gonna ask that question. He's just confused for a moment. But and he says, "Okay, um." How long have you been down here, Mr. Barthen?
Barthus,
Barthus,
sorry,
sorry.
Bart. You can call me Bart. Bart's fine. I grew up down here. This is my home. Well, not this place. It was someplace else. I'm not entirely sure where.
This is an older looking gnome, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the memory's a bit fuzzy after a couple of good nights in these shrooms, but yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, sir, you are more than 30 years old, yes?
I think so.
Do you remember a time before the Skulk was part of these caves? At all? Even just like flashes of memory?
What's the skulk?
Starry Night
Cool.
Substance.
What?
Does he look like he has Skulk on him at all?
A quick glance, no.
Well, I
Where's
mean,
your
it's hard to see when like the other two people we met have some on them somewhere. All right.
I I'm guessing that just sleeping inside of bioluminescent mushrooms has caused some serious.
There's been no signs of the skulk in this like mushroom area, right?
As you can tell, no.
Okay. Huh. Granted, his mind is sort of seeming lost, and that's sometimes a sign of skulk infection. Um,
It's also a sign of mushroom.
yeah, hard to say. Well, is it? Well, Bart. Um, what are you capable of?
I think I can do a lot of many things. I'm good with some of that. He kind of holds his hand out and flourishes a little bit, and a bit of a vine starts to wrap
Okay.
around his hand and grow
All right.
and sprout into this like very poisonous looking flower.
Taking that as druidcraft?
I'm taking that as he's a druid as well.
It's it's just a fun little hobby, I guess. And he bites it, eats the flower.
Great.
But yeah.
Yeah.
What about y'all? Um, I don't even know y'all's names. We're
Oh yes. Tarzan will quickly introduce the rest of the group.
and you hear from the pool. Is that you, Bart? What? He kind of looks around. Huh. Of course you'd be with her. Hi, Clappy.
You two
Um.
know each other.
Well, we've crossed paths. Clappy goes, "Oh yeah, this mushroom brain has been out in these caverns for a while. I didn't know you were sticking around here." Well, yeah, my last home got the spiders weren't very nice to me. I tried talking to them. They wouldn't listen. I don't know why. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
I think we
She
might have
kind
talked
of
to the spiders recently, and I think they agreed to move out. So you might be able to check that out if you so desire.
that would be fantastic. Although there's a lot of good food here, which is pretty nice. Anyway,
um. Yes, we'd appreciate any help.
I owe these nice mushroom folk for taking me in, and so I'm good to help them out whenever needed. You hear in your minds the sovereign. Arthas has been an invaluable ally. You see him kind of, oh, stop it, big guy, and kind of blushes and kicks the stones beneath him. If he's willing, he will help and aid well.
In your years collecting the corpses of various people adventurers down here, uh, have you ever come across items of interesting value or magical
Potential.
doodads, whatnot?
Not that I am been aware of. We we don't really check for that kind of thing
Hmm.
or go after it. Sorry if that is a disappointment.
No, not at all. Though, if you don't mind, I might sweep this place and check for myself. Um, Stuff that you probably wouldn't be interested in. Are there any other questions for these guys? I can't really.
Unless, I mean, do you know of the numbers of the fish folk that we would be facing, or do they have regular
I mean, Calliope
scouting
had an
patrols that
estimate,
we?
didn't she? I mean, I guess they might have a better estimate.
Ivy kind of pops her head out from under the water. What? I heard my name, sort of. I think my name.
We were just discussing the numbers that you had heard of among the fish folk, and if these lovely people might have additional information to either support or contradict your numbers.
And it's possible. She kind of points to the sovereign. He nods his massive head at her. We don't have exact numbers, but we do occasionally see their scouting parties. There's never more than one. And
You
they've
mean
never sent a force.
there's never more than one, or there's always more than one?
There's never more than one scouting party at a time.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant one guy. Okay.
They have never sent a force as large as the one you faced outside before. And
Getting a little
so,
reckless.
or
So in
or
theory,
they
if we
know
were to
something
act
we do not.
quickly, they would think they still had the one party out and are unlikely to send another one. So we would be unlikely to get caught by a scouting party.
Would you consider this
Possibly.
location secure against them? Like, when we walked in here, is there, like, guards or, like, any form of security they have to keep things out?
Are you asking him or are you asking me?
Yes.
Walking in, you didn't see specific guards. You saw a couple of Myconids just kind of standing in different places or communicating with each other telepathically or resting in a group of mushrooms, things like that. No, like, visible guards. You didn't realize, you did see outside that there were, I want to say, 5 or 6 Myconids who had fought, and only 3 survived. Um, and they fought against 2 or 3 of the fish people,
Okay.
while you guys pulled the rest of them out. You When you ask him that question, he goes, "We defend ourselves in any way we can. We don't have specific points to guard, but we only have one entrance and one exit, which makes it easier to send that many numbers again."
Hmm. Okay. Well, if you don't mind, we're going to take a rest from our battle that we just had. I assume some of
He's
my compatriots have already admitted themselves
You look
to a
over.
hot spring.
Clash's armor is piled on the shore. Ergi, I'm assuming yours is the same way. And they're both just floating. And Ergi, I will say, it's heavenly after what you guys have been through the last little while. Um, it feels absolutely fantastic just floating there in the nice, warm, like hot tub type water.
Aggie looks a little bit funny. Giant wet cat.
Your mane is all sleeked back, and yeah.
He's skinnier than he thought he was.
The uh, what's his name? The
Sovereign.
sovereign. Um, he nods again his large head. Please rest. Let me know if there's anything we can do for you. We will keep an eye out for more attacks, but I don't think they'll be sending any more soon.
In the way of doing things for us, we could use some rations. We could use do you do you have special skills, or do you create certain goods that would be useful to us? Like, I appreciate you offering service. I just don't know what to ask for.
True.
Is a fair question. As I said, there are several of our spores who are potent with healing. We have food we can share. Those things that can be digested by your kind. We have those here.
Would you perchance have
While you're conversating,
uh
Carzan's ritual casting detect magic, by the way.
would you perchance have concentrated solutions of things that would be toxic to our kind?
Or to
His
humanoids
head
in general.
cocks. His head cocks, and you hear Bart chime in. Well, you want something that's poisonous or toxic? I'm the guy to ask. They don't
I
know
was just
what
wondering.
poison is.
I was just wondering if there's a chance that I might procure something to lace my blades with to aid in this upcoming fight.
Oh, that's a good idea right there. That's the best one I've heard all night. Well, no. There's a few more good ones.
Hmm.
Oh, in it? I always say that. Anyway, yes, and he turns and walks over to the mushroom that he was curled up in
Okay.
and cuts off a thin membrane on the outside, only touching it with like a blade, a knife. Lifts that up, walks over, put this in a cup and boil it with some water. You'll get something quite nice right there.
How long would it last, and how many times could I use it?
Mechanics wise, it you'll coat it coat your blade once. It lasts for 10 minutes, and it deals an extra 2d6 poison damage.
Ooh. And how much would I only be able to coat one blade with what I'd get from boiling that, or
No, you'll be able to coat both. And
would it be
you have to
possible
like,
for me to get enough to make a couple extra vials of this?
if you want to spend some time, absolutely.
Just 2d6 extra damage per dagger for 10 minutes is quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so Bart walks you over and shows you how to skin it. Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Sure.
Al.
Seeing them do this, Nyx is going to walk over and help with that.
Sure.
Help means I get advantage, or help means he does his own survival check?
I'll leave that up to him. Leave that up to you, Brian.
Um,
I am totally happy with you
help
doing
you
your
with
own.
your check.
Okay. Oh, that was almost a dirty 20. Okay.
It takes a bit of time, and I'm not going to say that you failed, but I'll say you do manage to get enough of it off that's correctly laid, would be the only word I could describe it as, to make 2 extra vials other than the one he gave you. So you'll have 3.
And then each vial will let me coat 2 daggers or one normal
Yes.
sword.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And they give 2d6 extra poison damage for 10 minutes,
Yes.
and no additional effect besides the poison damage, right?
Correct.
Great.
Alright. In that time, I'm gonna be finishing my ritual cast of Detect Magic and sweeping every dead body in this place, seeing if there's any corpse body like that has like some adventurer's
seeing-
stuff.
Yeah. Seeing as every single Myconid technically is a corpse,
Well, there you go.
you sweep the entirety of this place, and you do it. You start sweeping through it, and it's a little like digging for a ring that you lost in the sand.
Yeah.
You get some pings from like mushrooms and things like that every once in a while around here, but and the pool itself is slightly magical, abjurative. But you do also eventually there is one Myconid that kind of walks past, and you feel this as he goes or as it goes, and you stop it. It holds up a finger. You connect, and it says, "Thank you for accepting my words. What can I do for you?"
Yes, I'm sensing something upon your personage. May I'm not sure how to phrase this properly. I believe the corpse that that you currently sprung from life in obtained a possession that may be useful to my party and I in eliminating the threat of your colony. May I touch and look at you for a little bit?
Yes, you may.
Alright, and I'll try and find where that's coming from, and
It's awkward, but you're delicate, and you've done medical examinations, things like that. You do find in a kind of a decaying pouch tucked far into a wrap of mushroom, a fungi around it, a pocket watch
hmm,
that seems to be pinging some magic.
beautiful. Well, thank you, my good man. I shall be seeing how this may help our endeavors.
You're welcome. And it moved on to where it was heading out.
Okay.
One second. Just reading this real quick. Okay. Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
Exciting.
While you're looking into that,
Yeah.
Ergy's gonna get up out of the pool, get on all fours, and shake himself out. And then he's gonna run on all fours around in a circle a couple of times, and then just stand up and go, ooh, that was incredible. Well, are we ready? And he'll look around at anyone he can see.
You look over, and Clash has kind of tucked himself up on the bank and is out.
I'll kick him. Clash.
I
Go ahead.
could use 10 minutes myself.
Okay, go back to sleep, Clash. You're good.
Hey,
Actually, Bart, could you? Is there enough of this stuff for me to get some, or the
The
poison
poison?
stuff? I mean, yeah.
I mean, we can try. The backside is always the hardest. Get them stuff off of, but we can give it a try.
Is that the only magical item I find, by the way?
That is yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ritual cast Identify.
Okay. So survival check for Nyx to try to get some now, or
Yes, it's survival check.
And I will help Nyx, coaching him through my struggles and how I failed
Okay,
to give
with
advantage.
advantage on next.
thank you.
It's a lot
22.
better.
What's your roll?
22.
22. You manage to help. Bart tells you this mushroom itself, when you without the membrane on the top, is quite toxic. The inside's nice and warm and fuzzy, so that's where I like to sleep. But the outside's a little bit more on the sketchy side. Anyway, let's get you guys. After a little bit of coaching and helping, you do manage to get enough for one more vial, which is one more vial of it.
Right, one more vial, which is enough for one blade.
How many
Or two
arrows do you
daggers.
dip into a vial?
Let's say 4.
4 arrows? You said it's either
2 daggers, 1 blade, or 4 arrows.
Yeah, I looked at my arrows. I have, what, 18 left? Yeah, so I'm thinking I might have to
Well, don't you
depend
collect
on
your
my
arrows
rapier.
afterwards?
I've been forgetting to do that.
Well, like I feel like that's an implied thing.
Yeah, I don't specifically. I feel like that's just tedious.
But while you're thinking about what you want to do with the poison, what's this watch do?
It is in the. There you are. The items tab. Actually, I'll just put it in your inventory.
Oh, okay. I was looking in the items tab, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I haven't. It's called the Pocket Watch of Shreeping.
Shreepin'?
Glad you got that, Tim.
Yep. What does it do?
Did you put it in my inventory yet?
Yeah, it should be there.
I do not see it.
It's in loot.
Loot. Okay, it doesn't have an icon. All right.
Oh, yes.
Edit. There we go. Very rare. Ooh. There we go. That makes me happy. On your turn, you can use your action to press a button on the side of the pocket watch to activate it, releasing a wave of magical slumber within a 20-foot radius of you. Each creature in the area must make a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, any affected creature falls unconscious until the end of your next turn, until it takes damage, or until someone uses an action to shake or slap the creature awake. On a successful save, any affected creature has disadvantage on... And on a successful save, any affected creature has disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws until the end of your next turn. Undead and creatures immune to being charmed aren't affected by this pocket watch.
That's awesome.
Excuse me, are there no charges on this thing?
Oh, there should be. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, alright.
Because
Like, even if they succeed, that's awesome. Like,
it does say each creature in the area, which means I think that might affect you as well? Or no?
technically, yeah, it would.
Well, you can always go alone to fight the fish.
Oh, it does say sending a wave of magical slumber. So maybe it's coming.
Yeah, I
I
kind
don't
of pictured it
know.
as like a cone. I
I
pictured it as
would.
a cone or a box coming away from you.
I don't know. It's a very rare item. I would imagine it doesn't affect the user, but I don't think you can pick and choose who it uses. So if your allies are
Yeah,
within, like, it would still
full
affect
AOE.
them.
Yeah. What does it say the AOE is?
A 20-foot radius of you.
20. Oh, in all directions,
Yeah.
centered on self. Oh, interesting. That feels like a Cal or Nyx sneaks into the middle of the opponent enemy ranks and triggers it, and then that's the start of the ambush.
I've got Misty Step too. That could be useful for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the Misty Step strat because Misty Step is a 30-foot or 60-foot range.
30.
30 foot.
30.
So you could jump 30 feet away from the party and then immediately activate it. Especially because Misty Steps is a bonus action.
Yeah.
And then on our next turns, we just go in and hit unconscious people and they have all have
Does it
disadvantage.
require attunements?
Um,
Don't think so.
it might want to. It might. I don't know. It doesn't say, but I would imagine.
It doesn't
I
feel
think I
like an
might be out
attunement
of
one.
attunement spots.
It feels like just like a wand thing. Like I don't think you would need to attune to it.
It does not seem to need attunement.
Amazing. Wow. All right. Well, I will put that in my pocket for now and make a note to give that to Ergi. I'm gonna take a
Yeah.
short rest because I need it.
Yep. How deep is the
Uh,
pool?
At its deepest, it gets to be like 6, 7 feet deep.
Okay. Kyle was gonna try to swan dive, but he doesn't want to smack his head on the ground.
Yeah.
Nyx is just gonna go keep an eye on the entrance to the circle.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to do? Any conversations you would like to have? While you are resting, recuperating from the
I'll ask Bart.
med
So,
ordeal?
what's the strongest little spell you can do without doing it?
Strongest little spell, huh? I mean,
I guess, like, what are you, like, fully capable of if you go all out? Is kind of what I'm asking.
the I found the good old fashioned blind them with daylight helps sometimes. Although I gotta cover my eyes because I don't do well with that much light. But yeah, I've done that once or twice and it's been kind of nice.
Daylight.
Uh,
Okay. You're at least 5th level
uh,
then, and that's great.
I mean, I can heal. I'm real good with talking with the fungus here, the plants. Um, I feel like I'm in an interview right now, and I'm feeling it pretty miserably.
Sorry about that. Force of habit.
Oh, it's all good.
All right. So, how we feeling about attacking the fish people right now?
I'm ready.
I'm good.
All right.
Well, do it.
Let's prep and real quick, Karzin will, let me see. How long does this last? 1 hour. Oh, that's perfect. Before we head out, Carson's going to get everyone in a circle together. He's going to ritual cast Water Walk.
Right.
Actually,
Okay.
no. I'm not going to get Clash out. I'm going to cast Water Walk ritually, and after the 10 minutes are up, Clash will suddenly just be lifted to the top of the water and woken
Yep.
up.
He kind of groans, grabs a mushroom
Cal
or something.
sends a wave of water at the laying down Clash to see what happens because he started floating on the water, and Cal wants to know what happens if a wave of water comes towards Clash while he's laying on top of it.
Similar to a person on like a floaty or a
Okay.
raft.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
kind of just floats with it, goes with it. He Oh, come on, 5 more minutes. Come on. He grabs a mushroom or something, puts it under the pillow, but then it sinks, and his head knocks against the water. All right, I'm up. I'm up.
And that's everyone. It's everyone in our party at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wherever Nyx is. I don't know where'd Nyx go? Is he under somebody?
Nyx is up here.
The entrance.
Oh, he's at
So
the
is that
entrance. Okay.
is that Calliope or
Nyx will come over if someone lets him know that Carson wants to do the water
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah. So for the next hour, we have Water Walk. You can still be
Right.
submerged in water. It's more like it'll shove you back up at 60 feet per second.
so we're just like triple the buoyant kind of thing?
Exactly. Like you're so buoyant that you can stand on water.
Okay.
And we will head out.
You head back into Caves of Carnage. Um, there are 4 of the myconid spores that follow, as well as there he is.
I'd like to remind um, Cal and Nyx that I gave them 10 extra hit points. And I just realized on the newer sheet you can set your hit point total to be 10 more on like not the total, but your current hit points to be 10 more than your total.
You can actually set a temporary max HP boost on the new sheet.
I
And so it says like parenthesis 10 on my sheet,
Gotcha.
indicating that my max health is 10 higher.
I'm on the old sheet because I'm loath to use the new sheet, but let me
I
switch
love
that.
the new sheet, except for that it killed my notes. That's the only thing I found so far that made me mad.
There we go. 58 out of 58. Yeah. All right. We'll keep the new
If
sheet
you
on for
switch,
now.
if you switch back, does it keep
Yeah, I
them?
get my notes back when I switch back, and so I
Okay.
I
Okay.
switched back and then copy and pasted all of my notes into a custom journal in the journals page, and then it didn't matter.
As
So
Gotcha.
we're walking out, I'll ask one of the myconids that I've touched. Hey, we ran into some of those like black flowers over here. They were flowers, right? Are those
Yes.
dangerous? I'll ask them.
It looks at you extremely dangerous,
Yeah, that's what we thought.
even to us.
Great, wonderful. Yeah, just wanted to double check that. Okay. All right, and we will I guess head over this like water gap over here. I mean like we're coming from over here, I presume, or like over here. And we're heading this way.
Okay. Let me back to the notes here real quick. Where is it? Um, all right, well, I guess my notes don't exist on that. Um, travel towards uh, this area. You go back into the mushroom forest. Uh, you don't see any other, what's it called? Any other um, signs of fish people around. None of the bodies have been disturbed. And as you head south, you come upon this. It's a drop. It's a chasm of probably somewhere between 80 and 100 feet of a drop. And these long, tall stemmed lily pads make almost stepping stones across the way. You're not sure if they'll hold, but it's either.
I'm gonna.
What's up?
Okay, I'm gonna throw my rope across. Can I get it that far?
I believe so. That's only 30 feet.
Sweet. I guess I don't have to throw it. I'll just tell it to go tie itself on the other side.
Interesting point. How as you do that, um, your rope kind of slithers from one lily pad to the next, and as you watch these lily pads, as soon as they're touched by the rope, start to droop slowly, and then completely fall off, for very quickly regrowing back into another full-size lily pad. Each one across the way. Um, your rope does make it all the way across, and it finds a rock boulder to tie itself off on, and seems secure.
I'll turn around and say, "Well, it looks like the lily pads are stable for just a moment. So I guess we could try to jump across and use the rope for guidance. And I'll go ahead and try."
I'd make an athletics check. Yeah,
Should I do advantage because the rope?
yeah, yeah. The rope is going to help quite a bit.
Nice.
24.
24.
You hesitantly reach out your foot and step on the lily pad. And it's as hard as stepping on stone, but you feel it start to just kind of wilt. And so you quickly jump to the next one, and jump to the next one, jump to the next one. You manage to make your way all the way across without incident. And so slowly, thump, 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 they regrow. What's next?
You said it's a 100-foot drop?
Somewhere between 80 and 100 feet, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Carson's going to take the other end of the rope and tie it around his waist.
Okay.
And then we could just send it back when I'm over. I might slam against the face of the side, but it'll be like, I don't know, however far I am on the rope with Ergi holding it instead of
Potentially
80.
50 feet.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like kind of holding it as I'm going, maybe, or I don't know.
Yeah, okay, 35. Yeah.
All right, Carson, can I make it acrobatics instead of athletics, or has it got to be athletics?
I think for yeah, I'll allow acrobatics.
Cool. I'm not concentrating on detect magic, so I'm giving myself guidance as well. 1d4. Yeah.
Perfect. You hop to the first one. You can start to feel it wilting, and you can start to panic. You hop to the next one, and then you realize you don't quite have your balance, and so you try hopping back to the first one, and it's gone,
So,
and you fall. What?
I'd like to make it that I hop to the second one, and Carson's knee just gives out, like
That's fair.
right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's like, oh, why does that have to? And then he's gonna.
With a pop, you guys watch Carson just kind of crumple. The lily pad gives out from underneath him, and he falls, swings. You do doing some quick math here. You take 4d6, not 46, 4d6
No,
damage.
because it should only be 30 feet of at most of falling, not 40.
Explain.
Because the
Oh, because
rope
it's
is
only
30
30
feet
feet.
long.
You're right. You're right.
So the rope is 50, but I'm holding it, and I'm 35 away.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
got to
also
the
tied
second. I
around.
got to the second one too, but yeah,
Yeah. Sounds
It's
like
at
you take
most
7
30 feet.
points.
7 points. That's a
Yeah.
lot better than
7 points.
9.
Yeah.
Cool. While Carson's being pulled up, I'm going to go.
You're not even gonna tie yourself. All right.
Prepared action if I start falling to effectively Misty Step across.
All right. You're
Yeah,
fine.
we're good.
I guess Clash is doing it too because Clash thinks he's fine, and he's not even gonna worry. Athletics, normal roll.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he's fine. Even with a low roll, he has a +8 to athletics. He's fine.
14. The DC was 15.
Really?
I will say.
We just killed Clash.
Flash. Um. Let's see here.
Oh, dang it. I unlearned slow falling, feather fall, because we'd never used it. No!
Jeez.
Um. You watch as Clash almost immediately after Cal jumps to the first one, the second one, the third one, and at that point the lily pads are starting to wilt more and more, and he can't quite get to that fourth one in time, and he just falls straight down. Um, roll a dexterity saving throw for him.
Okay.
See if he can grab on and hold to the stem to at least cushion or lower the impact.
Can I use my crit
Save.
to somehow help him?
Let's see how well he rolls this.
Okay.
And I'll allow you to roll another a dexterity check as well. A dexterity save, Cal.
11.
Okay. Oof.
15.
Um, yeah, unfortunately with those, you reach out quickly at the end to try and grab him. Your hand just brushes his hair as it waves and kind of blows in the wind out of your grasp. And he falls. I will say with an 11, he does manage to grab hold of the rock wall, but about 60 feet down. So he kind of jumps, tries to grab things, falls, and then smashes into the wall. But it does manage to grab hold of that. So he will take
Jeez.
Fireball's worth of damage. Oof.
24. Jeez. Or 20 points of bludgeoning damage. I think he would probably use Stone's Endurance
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
to mitigate some of that.
I have control of his sheet.
Yeah. To go and roll a d12.
Wow.
Cool. So he takes 8 points instead of the 20.
Oh,
and
he
he
should have
probably.
short rested. Okay, hold
I
on.
was just gonna
So he
say
was
that, yeah.
50, he was at 57 and then -8. Okay,
Minus 8,
that's
yeah.
not so bad.
Okay. Well, Ergy, lower me down. I'll
Well,
grab
we
him.
can tie some of our rope to his magic rope.
Yeah, that's an option. I also can just like reach out to him if I get lowered down. Either way.
Would it be all right, yeah, if you think that'll be easier.
I just think
Yeah,
it's easier to just grab onto him so he doesn't have to like tie a rope to himself or whatever.
we'll tie it to Cal and he can climb down. Problem is, it's going to go 50 feet, and he's 60
Yeah,
feet
I
down.
So
figure I can reach
beforehand,
down and he can reach up and we'll reach each other.
I'll say without too much more issue, you guys do manage to grab Clash and pull him up.
Great.
As he gets up to the top, he's breathing kind of heavy. Ow.
Good thing you're as hard as a rock.
Something like that. Just kind of
That's
sits
right.
back and.
Sorry, this is out of character. That's out of character for Clash. Clash would be like, "I'm totally fine," and he'll give a smile,
Oh,
and there'll be a bit of blood streaming down the side of his head.
fair, fair.
That's the spirit, man. Gets a pat on the head.
All right,
Nyx, I think you're
next,
next.
you're getting the rope tied. You're getting the rope. Sorry, getting the rope.
How are the rest of these guys getting across? Same thing?
Rope
Yeah,
one at a time. It works.
the mushroom guys. Yeah, we could do that. Or unless they can like somehow climb on the walls really well.
You say that out loud. Very distant, you hear one of them, the one that you had already contacted and communicated with. You hear, no.
All right, well,
Okay.
I'll help them. And I'll once Nyx is across and Calliope and Bart, I'll just climb up north and then east, and then I'll lower the rope for them to climb up and then down. That makes sense.
Do I get to choose acrobatics or is it athletics?
You choose acrobatics, yeah.
Okay.
It would
With
probably, you
advantage
know
from
what?
rope or
You know what? It'll probably be easier if we just don't try to cross this cavern and we just climb up the wall that we used to climb up here before and down the wall that we climbed down here before. Because back then we didn't have to make any checks.
Yeah, I don't know. This was fun though.
Yeah. Fun in the sense that we took a little damage. Uh,
Al got the crit jumping across some fancy lily pads. He loved this.
Yeah, I'll go get all the rest with the rope.
Okay. You have it untie. You have it tie up to the top there. You climb on up. No problem. After a little bit, I'll say you all find yourselves. Unless you want to try to cross this.
no.
Mm,
Tarzan
actually,
would
Nyx is
caution
feeling
again.
a bit impatient.
Fair. Hey, you're fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Clash also had a +8 to this skill check.
Cal didn't even have that, and he went for it. +4.
You find yourselves on the North Shore here. The lake is as still, as quiet as before. You see the old ship, as majestic as it has been, or as it was before, with a little light peeking out of the bottom hold. There
With
doesn't
the
seem to be any movement.
with the dancing lights, I want to make a perception check to see if I could spot anything
Well,
in the water.
that's right. Are you guys keeping the dancing lights over there?
Are we trying to stealth or are we storming this castle?
I don't think there'd be any point in stealthing. I mean, I guess walking across the water, we might not disturb it that much. So, but I feel
I
like
can't
there are
see.
people actively, like there, when we were here before, there was a bunch of people actively guarding this place. I don't think
All right.
there's a chance of us stealthing in.
Then, yeah, no, I'm good. Full lights, let's see.
In fact, I think Clash will light a torch to
Great.
also help with that.
In case I concentrate on something else, it's probably good.
Right. You make your preparations. Water walking is active. The Myconids communicate. We will remain on the shore to make sure you have healing when needed. You must come to us to be healed. Essentially, all
Yeah.
they have all they have is cure wounds.
Right.
So it needs to be on touch.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want piggyback rides onto the boat?
we don't like to get into the fray itself.
Okay.
Maybe after other things are dealt with, we'll see where we're at.
Great.
You can see they're kind of huddled in a little corner there. Um,
Actually, since they have
and
healing,
about
could
as
they give me and Clash a little bit of that juice?
yeah, one
Yeah,
of them
probably a
reach
good
or
idea.
two of them reach out. You
Just top me off and Clash
you
off.
guys let's see. You heal
Yeah, to full.
10. Flash heals 9.
Perfect. Yeah, we're both at full now.
As you prepare your assault on this impossible pirate ship in the middle of a cavern upon the calm sea, which is this lake. I think if it's okay with you guys, we're gonna stop there.
Yeah.
Um, I've got a lot I would need to prepare for this
Fair.
combat. I didn't expect you guys to go straight into it. And B, I'm exhausted. I
I get
feel
you.
like I just need to go pass out, so
Oh, you're good.
sorry.
That's fine. Just one thing to clarify before
Yeah, what's up?
what is the action for lacing a weapon with this poison? Is it like a full action or like a full turn or like what like
What is it for other
I
poisons?
don't actually know.
Also, I give the watch to Ergi. Tell him what it does.
Okay. I'll put that in your inventory real quick.
It's like, oh,
I'll say it is an action because you do kind of need to not just pour it on, but make sure everything is coated. So we'll say it is an action. So if that is something you wanted to do now before you get started on
I'll
in the
probably do it
combat,
next week, just so that I remember that I did it. But takes an action for basic poison and PHP 153. So
yeah, we'll
cool.
just call it the same there.
Okay, sounds good.
The Watch of Shreeping is now in your inventory under loot. Pocket Watch of Shreeping. Tarzan, did you take it out of yours?
Oh, I can.
If you wouldn't mind.
I'm gonna put it in the chat if I can. Yeah, there we go, so we can see it. Remind us next time.
Awesome.
Mm.
Well, let's call it there. Hope you guys have a fantastic night and rest of your week.
Yeah, you too.
Alrighty. Yep. See you
Go
guys.
and go pass out.
All right. Good night, man.
All
Have
right.
a good
See
sleep.
you guys.
See you.